Hello, welcome to this presentation. I'm your presenter Maurice Dimba. Of course, today I'm going to take you through the part 2 of truss creation using using lines as a guideline to create a very simple truss. Today I'm going to just continue with part 1. I'll brand this as part 2, actually a continuation of part 1. Now, on this part 2, we are going straight to this initial joint that I promised to work on, and on how to link these two struts and the top chord of both sides. Now I'll come straight to applications and component here. I'll just click this button. Let me close it and do it once again. I'll close that. On your left, you facing your screen on your laptop or your computer or a projector. Now I'll click this, then come here and type 11. Number 11 is a number given to this kind of joint or a connection in TEKLA structures. So the moment you type 11 or any kind of a number, when let me do this, if I type 2, there's a specific number given for such kind of connection. Now you can pick among this if it will serve the purpose you intend to apply on that. Now for us, we want to connect these two, but by weld. We can't create a gusset plate in between here. It won't look okay, and it will be a bit unprofessional to display size, something of that kind. Now I'll come here and type 11. I prefer this, but prior to joining this to this, I have to create a connection. I have to weld these two. Now I'll come here and type crank. Crank is number 41. I'll just click that, then come and join these together. Click this and press my left button. Or even before pressing your left button, the moment you click this and this, the joint will be created automatically. Now, having welded these two together on this truss, now I want to weld this on this strut and weld this on this strut. Now I'll go back and type 11 to bring back this bolted gusset type of connection. I'll click that, then pick this as my initial as my primary part, then click this as my secondary part, and click my milled button on the mouse. I'll do that. Then I come here again and click this as my secondary, and do that. Not really a proper connection. I'll work on this again. I'll undo this and undo that. Right click and redraw. Redraw here means to refresh. Now if I zoom out and come to navigate, rotate with mouse and rotate about that spot and turn this round like this to check for any discrepancy that might be arising. Perfect. I'll just go ahead and click that. Click this and this. Then I'll go back, come to navigate, and pick this as my primary part and this as my secondary part. This and this as my secondary part, and press my milled button on the mouse. I'll do away with this now. I'll right click and click redraw to refresh. Refreshing means redraw means refresh, and to refresh your model, you do away with unnecessary parts that are clogging your drawing. Now I'll come to navigate, rotate with mouse and rotate about this spot and turn this round. It's perfectly well and presentable, and this is applicable. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some little bit of adjustment on connection on this truss. I want to change or make this gusset plate a bit bigger. I'll just double click on the joint and come here and adjust this maybe to 60 and click OK or modify. It will adjust itself and it create an offset from the top chord and the final edge of the strut. Come here and click apply and give an OK and give an OK there. Do the same thing. If you get a point where the strut is clashing with the either of this chord, top and bottom, you need to readjust that by doing the same thing I've done here on that connection. We'll do the same here. Just double click on the joint, then come here and change this to 60. Apply and accept. You see, there's a change there. Just walk around your truss and check for anything you feel it's not professionally done or not right for you, or you find it is the best way to do it. You know, every drawing is customizable, is customizable to what the client wants. Now I'll right click and interrupt that. I'll do that. Now having done this, let me now just repopulate this along the grid lines. I'll just come and highlight that and right click and come to special copy, come to linear, and we need an interval of 6 meters. We need 9 columns, and just go ahead and click copy. I think that is done, and click OK. Right click and interrupt to get away from that copy command. Now if we take a look, you find that the model is a bit busy, clogged with unnecessary drawings and parts. To do away with those, right click and click redraw. Everything disappear and you remain with what you require, I mean what is necessary. Now come to navigate, rotate with mouse, turn that like that, and zoom this closer and check whether what you're doing is right. If you zoom closer, you see our bolting has no washers. You can undo whatever you did and get back to your initial spot and redo the same thing. You can double click on this and come to Gusset. Come to that, come to Gusset bolts and check all this, check the washers, apply and accept. You see that we have a washer there. We double click that, you'll see all that. You check that and apply. That is how you do it if we need the washers. Now I'll get back where we were before, but just undoing that. A reason why it's not responding because after undoing, I saved. The moment you save in TEKLA structure, you can't undo. You remain with what you really accepted. That is the best change you require, so you can't go back. Now I'll come back to view. I'll come to navigate, rotate with mouse and click on that spot and turn this round. And I want to repopulate these truss and columns to the 9 grids. Now I'll highlight everything and right click and come to special copy and pick linear. Then I'll just click copy because the interval measurements of 6 meters and number of copies we want or we need has been already fed because we did this previously. So the information is still kept in what we intend to do on the properties of copy linear. Now I'll go ahead and click copy, and boom, you've done that. Click OK and get away from that. And as I explained prior to undoing everything, you come here, right click and redraw to do away with all those things that are really making our drawing look more crowded or busy. Now from here we want to place some bracings, and to place bracings you need to reorient your axis. You reorient like this. Come to view, come to workplane tool, pick workplane tool, then just click on top of the truss or I mean the top chord. The top chord will really give the orientation on how the purlins will be laid and how your bracings will be laid. Just click on that, right click and interrupt to disable that workplane tool command. Then come back to navigate, rotate with mouse, click that and rotate about that spot. You can turn this around like this. Now from here we want to lay our bracings, and to lay our bracings we have to create some markings on this chord and that chord. Now having done that, we just do a mirror, then we copy to the whole model truss. Now we'll go right away and start doing that by going to edit. After clicking edit, we'll be able to access the tools that will be able to assist us in creating the markings for us to place the bracings. One of them is points, which is very critical in marking out the points that are necessary for us. Now I'll come to any position. After clicking any position, I'll come to that spot. After clicking that spot, I want to offset this spot from that end to a position that I prefer or I think is best. Now I'll go back to points again and pick online. This online will give me a midpoint where I'll be able to locate the midpoint of this top chord. Now I'll click at this end like that, then run all the way and click on this edge down here. Then if you zoom out, you'll be able to see that you've actually marked a midpoint of this. You can do the same thing to this end. You'll come here and come to points, online, then come to view, come to navigate, rotate with mouse and rotate about that spot. Now we want to locate a midpoint here. We'll cancel out that, then come to edit, then come to points, pick that. I'll snap that spot and run to this end and snap here, right there. So if I zoom out, I'll be able to see that here is my midpoint on that chord, but it's not sitting right or on the right spot. Reason being, I didn't locate accurately the spot I intend to place my points. I'll go back and do the same thing. I'll go back to edit and pick points, come to online. Then what I'll do here is this. I'll click on the midpoint of that chord, then run all the way and place it here. That will make this work more accurate. Now if you go to view and rotate this, you'll be able to see that the spot is sitting right on top of the top chord of this truss. Now it's upon you now to bring this to this edge, which is not really necessary, because when creating connection it will be offsetted to the edge of this chord. Now what I'm going to do, I'll just make things look more uniform by clicking on move, then pick on that and bring it to that edge. Perfect. Now let me turn this round like that. And I want to create a bracing that will run from this end and run to this end and run to that end, and one that will run straight here. I think that will be okay. Now here I want to do some offset of this. I'll click on this, right click and click copy. I'll snap on that spot and give an orientation of my copying command. I'll place my cursor there and just type exactly what I want to be done. I'll type the offset measurement of 200 I'll right click to disable that command. I'll do the same thing, but instead of redoing the same thing, I'll just click on this spot and right click and click copy and pick it from this spot and place it there. I've done the same thing. So instead of doing the same thing at the other end, I'll pick this and press Ctrl, pick that and this, right click and pick copy, pick it from this midpoint, then run all the way to this end and place it in the middle here, right there. Now we need a similar offset from this edge of about 200. Now what I'm going to do is to pick this and this and press Ctrl, right click and click copy. I'll pick it from that spot and run all the way to this edge and place it there, and do the same thing here. Place it there, right click and interrupt. I'll do the same thing on top here. I'll pick this, pick that, press Ctrl and highlight this, right click and come to copy, snap on that, then bring it at this end. We need this point, this is the most important point. Then come all the way to this end, snap there, right click and interrupt. Now this point is not important, this point is important. Click on it, right click and click move. We want to bring it to the edge. The reason why we placed it in the middle is because this gusset plate is blocking us to access the accurate point of this top chord. Now we'll place it in the middle, then move this point to the edge. I'll pick this and bring it right there. Perfect. Now I'll go back to steel. I'll pick steel beam, I'll pick that, then come here, and snap right here, snap right there, snap right there. But I need a good orientation of my steel. But instead of starting reorienting this, let me just continue placing my steel members. I'll snap there and snap all the way here. A reason why we are seeing these extensions is because, let me just explain that bit. Let me snap there and run all the way to this end. We are seeing some extension at this end, another extension not at this end. Just double click on this. This dialog box of beam properties will come up. Just go to positions and delete all this, bring this to 0. Modify, apply and accept. Now if you zoom out and go back and check whether that extension still exists, it's non-existent. The extension was because of some extension we entered to extend these edges, so we left it there, and the TEKLA structure will pick that as a default extension. Now I'll double click on this and give an orientation of my preference. I'll give it back like that. Perfect. Come to view, come to navigate, rotate with mouse, rotate about that spot and turn this round. Our bracing is slightly off the top chord. Now what we will do is just double click on it, then come to position, then come to behind, apply and accept. Note that if you double click, your position should be middle black behind. Now if we go where we were before, navigate, turn this round, navigate, turn this round like this, turn this round like this, right click, come to steel beam and click that, snap here, then snap all the way to this end, snap there, right click, continue doing the same thing by picking this spot It's not actually the best way to do this. We'll delete that and delete this. We'll come back to steel beam, then snap here, run all the way to this end, this midpoint. Then from there, we'll run all the way to this point. Then from there, we'll run all the way from that spot to this spot. Right click and interrupt. Now, if you go to view, turn this round and turn this round like this, you'll be able to see exactly what you've done. Here, zoom closer. Perfect. Now I'll come back to steel again. Come back to steel, come back to steel beam. I'll snap right there and run all the way to this end and snap right there. I'll come here and snap there and run all the way and snap here. Perfect. Now if I go back to view and come to navigate, rotate with mouse, turn that round, this is my bracing on top of trusses. Now I'll come back to that. I'll pick my bolted gusset plates and start off with this. Click this and that, and click on your middle button mouse. But we need some washers on the bolting. We'll come to gusset plate 1. We have the washer there. Gusset plate 2, we don't have washers there. Now we'll click that, apply and accept. Now you see that. That's it. Double click that to adjust the offset from the top chord. Now bring this to 40. I'll bring this to 20. Apply and accept. Now we'll apply the same thing. Come back here and do the same thing. Snap here, click that and press your middle button on the mouse. It has been bolted. Click that, this, that, and this. Your middle button on the mouse. It's lacking some uniformity. Now we'll click undo and undo everything. Undo everything, then come back here, double click on this. The reason why I'm doing that, let me cancel this and explain this to you. If we check this bolt is a bit bigger than this. Now what we want to modify is to make these bolt sizes uniform. Now I'll double click on that and come to gusset plates. We have M16, and here we have defaults. So we need M16 there, which HCG H, that, apply, then come to that and do the same thing, gusset plates, and do the same thing, 16 HSFG. That's all. We need threads there. Come back again here. I'll make sure the moment you make some modification, accept the changes. Washer, the bolts are there. You don't need default there. We need 16 HSFG. We need threads. Apply everything and accept. Now the bolts are the same. Now TEKLA has picked that as a default. Now we'll just continue doing that. Now if I come here and click this and that and press my middle button, we will continue like that. Press a middle button, click this and that and this, and press a middle button on the mouse. Click this and that, then your middle button on the mouse. This and that, this and that, then your middle button on the mouse. Undo that, come back here and click that. Click this and that and your middle button on the mouse. Perfect. We'll close this because we are now done with it. Turn this round, and this is exactly what we wanted to do. Perfect. Navigate, turn this round like this, then highlight everything here. And prior to doing that, ensure or make sure that your work plane tool is in the right position. Now we'll come to work plane tool, pick work plane tool, and come to navigate and turn this to a position that you can be able to place. You can be able to place your right click. We want to disable that selection. Let's turn this and give or reorient our work plane tool. We'll come to work plane tool and place our work plane tool here like that. Right click and interrupt. Now we go back and do the same thing by highlighting all our bracings, because you want to mirror all this to the other end. Now I'll highlight everything here like that. After highlighting, I'll just turn this round like this. Now I'll right click and come to special copy and pick mirror. I'll use this point as my mirror line and click that and click copy. Right click and interrupt. Rotate this like that. We've mirrored all that to this end. Now we want to copy this to all our trusses. I'll press Ctrl and select everything here. Select that. Then I'll right click and come to special copy. I'll pick linear. Now prior to doing anything, make sure that your axis will work in the best way for you. Now if we take a look at the x-axis and y-axis is up and x-axis is going in that direction, so this will not work for us. We'll delete that and place that information here. We'll bring this to 0, but check the direction of the z-axis is facing us. It's going this way, so we need to place a negative here. Now how many do we have? How many intervals of 6 meters do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Perfect. What we will do, just go ahead and click copy and wait for the result. It's done. Click expand because we made excess. Let's click expand. Click OK. Right click and interrupt. Now the excess, what we don't need, right click and delete. We should have placed 8. Delete that and delete this. It's simple as that. Now turn this around like this. You've reinforced your purling. You see the uniformity, very straight and very well done. Nicely done. We take a look at it. On the plates, this you'll be able to trim off. You'll trim this to the edge of the top chord. Take a look at this. I'll just turn this down for you to see everything. Perfectly done. Perfect. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and let's meet on the next presentation. I'm Morris Dimba, and bye bye.